In this video, I will show you how I'm fixing, I think I fixed, a monster mistake. Stick around and I'll show you what had happened. In a container, I'm putting 3 pieces of wood. The idea is to make a vase, a long neck vase. And I put it in I check that it's not leaking. Then I put it in the pressure pot. Next morning, I'm opening the pressure pot and you won't believe it. Somewhere the heat was heat or something. It's cracked somewhere. And half of it was in the pressure pot, the other half in the container. And I had to cut the pressure pot to get it out. So now I'm trying to save face and to save some of it. So first of all, I'm trying to save the wood because it's beautiful wood. So I cut it off and I'm trying to see how bad is it, because it looked like it overheated, badly overheated. So, and I don't know how much it overheated, and did it affect the rest of it, or I can make maybe a ball of it or a plate. And as I turn it around, before that I made a recess over there to hold it, turn it around, and I couldn't believe my eyes. It's holes all over. It definitely overheated. And I start cutting, creating a cylinder, and I heard a huge knock and it touched my helmet. Wow. I'm glad I have a helmet. Remember, a helmet and a face shield, very important. Otherwise, I probably would be in a hospital. And I looked at it now, and it's cracked. It's got holes. Look at it. Unbelievable. It's a disaster. So I decided, let me think what I'm going to do with it. Let me first of all flat it down, see how bad it is, make it as a cylinder, turn it around. Look how beautiful is the wood. I really can't let it go. So I decided, a good friend of mine told me some time ago, if you can't come to a conclusion, leave it. Go to sleep and think about it the next day. So that's exactly what I did, but it was a disaster night. I was all the time thinking, and I got to a conclusion that I'm going to fix it. Here I'm going to create a rim. It will be like a support band, a support rim. And I've got an idea to put it, to use more resin to try to fix it. You see, I made a hole, I drilled a hole. I'll show you later why I drilled the hole. You will see I put a skew, a bamboo skew in the middle, and I'll explain later why I did that. And instead of putting it in a pressure pot, number one, I don't have a pressure pot, it's gone, I had to cut it. But I wanted to get rid of all the air bubbles, and I wanted to get rid of all the cracks to fill them up with resin. So I said I'll put it in my vacuum chamber. I've got a big vacuum chamber, and slowly I'll take out the air, and you can see here it bubbles out, and then I will let it go, and all the air places will be filled up with resin. The next morning came out, it looks beautiful. I cut off the straw, and I drilled into the middle. I drilled a recess with a bucket, with everything. And the idea was, if I put a skew over there, I will have a center, a pure center, a real center, not a center from the bucket, but a center that I prepared in advance. So it's not going to affect my wood, and it's not going to affect my rim that I made, my support rim that I made inside. It will still sit in the center. If I would do on the bucket, it will be off center. So this idea was, I will drill over there and it will be straight in the middle. And now slowly I'm cleaning it up to see, is it going to be cracking, not cracked. I'm putting a leg, and most of the way there was no cracks at all. The system of putting together in the vacuum chamber, replacing the air in the cracks and all the voids like that, worked perfectly. It's a good way to do it, and I'll do it again. And now you can have a look at how it looks like. You can see the difference between the old and the new resin. And the problem is that the old resin still got micro bubbles inside from overheating, and this one couldn't be changed because it was already dry when I put it again in the resin. But now what happened is that I don't throw away the wood and don't throw away the rest of the resin. So yeah, I'm happy. From 80 all the way to 400. After that I'm going to use triple E, and after the triple E, and between the sandpaper, I all the time clean it with designated alcohol, just to take out all the places with dust, and to allow a little bit the fiber to come up, so I can clean it up with the sandpaper. Then after the triple E, I cleaned it up and I put Yorkshire, no sorry, I put Aubergine juice. On the leg, that it's also it's going to be my tenant, I put a rubber so it will not damage the wood, and if it does, I will turn it around and I'll work it again. Now I'm going to go all the way down to the wood, because that was the whole idea, to keep it, to show the wood and not the resin. So I will go all the way down to the wood to show the fiber, to show not the fiber, the grain of the wood. And I think it's very nice grain, this wild olive. To make life easy, I drilled all the way to the right thickness of the wall that I wanted. And now I'm going to start cleaning it inside. I'm going to leave it thick. I'm not going to make a thin wall, because I'm still worried that somewhere maybe there is a crack that I didn't see that will develop later and it will break. So let me leave it a little bit thicker than normal, and we'll see how it looks like. A little bit later, when I'll start polishing and cleaning it, you will see that the inside came out actually quite beautiful. The place of the wood, the colors of the wood, and the colors that played between the two resin that I used, the old resin and the new resin, looking good. Stick around, you'll see the end. It's not the first time I've got problems with resin. It's so much to do with the humidity, so much to do with the heat, so much to do with so many things. But one that cracked and broke and was so brittle, and got holes and got overheated, I never had before. So now I'm thinking to myself, what was it? Was it the resin? Was it me? The only thing I know that this thing cost me a lot of money, because now I have to get myself a new pressure pot. I could weld the old one back, but I can't take a chance on safety side to deal with a welded pressure pot. It will be too dangerous for me and for the house and for the neighborhood. finishing with aubergine juice, and it came out nice. Now turned it around, and I'm fixing the base. I gave it a little bit of a dovetail, and I'm removing it a little bit from the amount of dovetail, and it comes out nice. I hope. You tell me. I don't know. You tell me. What do you think? In few seconds, you will see how it's the finished product, and you will let me know what do you think about it. And this project was a roller coaster, second to none. Ups and downs and ups and downs. Mistakes, repairs, mistakes. Whew, heavy. The repair system that I used worked perfectly. I'm going to use it more and more if I'll have the same problem. However, the original resin that I put had small bubbles, micro bubbles, that still stayed inside because pressure pot and vacuum couldn't take them out because they're already into the resin. Playing with those colors worked. The idea of the hole in the middle and a skew, a bamboo skew inside for the center worked perfectly. If I look here at this one, if you ever look at it, you see the ring is center. Save the wood, save the resin, otherwise it will go back to the dustbin. It will be a very nice key holder on at the front door. You can put your keys inside, you'll never forget where you put them. Thank you very much for sticking around to the end of the video and saw all my mistakes and all my repairs. If you have any questions, don't forget to put them down at the bottom and I'll answer them. And any remarks, and I'll see you in my next video. Boom.